hopefully it'll say what it's supposed to say, which is active.
Now it's live streaming. Okay. That's active. You just, a lot of times you have to wait.
Yeah.
Well, so we're going, the clock's going, it's active, everything's green like you need. You are set. You don't have to do anything else. Just hit stop when it's over. Okay? Yeah. So next time, just watch that AM start time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that seems to be tripping everybody up.
Hello, Elster. Good morning, Bill. How are you? How do you feel? I'm doing good. You look good.
You're good to go.
Good morning. I'm going to call to order the public meeting for September 11th, 2018 of the Arapahoe County Board of County Commissioners. To my left is Ron Carl, the county attorney. To my far right is Gail Stumpo, the assistant clerk to the board. Ms. Stumpo, would you please call the roll?
Commissioner Jackson, absent and excused.
Correct.
Commissioner Holland.
Here.
Commissioner Sharp, absent and excused.
Correct.
Commissioner Conti.
Good morning.
And Commissioner Baker.
Here. Commissioner Holland, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Joining. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner Holland. Mr. Carl, are there any modifications to the agenda this morning?
There are no modifications to the agenda this morning.
I would entertain a motion to adopt the agenda.
Mr. Chair, I move to adopt the agenda.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Conti, seconded by Commissioner Holland. All in favor? Aye. The agenda has been adopted. We have a ceremony this morning. We love having ceremonies. This is recognition of our Road and Bridge group for receiving the Build a Better Mousetrap Asset Management Award. So, very creative name. And so, Alan, I think you're the presenter.
Well, actually, I'd like to turn it over to Renee Railsback.
Okay.
The one with Colorado.
So, again, just for the record, come forward and please state your name and your organization for the record, please.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Renee Railsback, and I'm the Director of Colorado's Local Technical Assistance Program. And just really quickly, this innovation program started in 1994 as Federal Highway Administration's Show Us How program. Colorado has continued that innovation contest every year, and we call it the You Show Us contest. So it's focused on local innovations for road and bridge and public works agencies, where the LTAP program is managed under Federal Highway at the national level under the Office of Innovative Program Delivery. There is an LTAP center in every state, including Puerto Rico, and that is important because when we hold the National Build a Better Mousetrap Innovation Competition, our agencies are competing against local transportation agencies throughout the entire country. Arapahoe County Road and Bridge has submitted several innovative projects throughout the years since 1994. They have been a state and a regional winner in the past a couple of times. This year, Federal Highway Administration had changed the program requirements, and they had 4 categories of voting. Those were inspection and data collection, asset management techniques, maintenance tools and methods, and facility improvements. Now, although Arapahoe County had submitted the project they were nominated for back in 2015, I knew it could be a national winner, and I chose to submit it to this year's national contest under the asset management category. So at this time, I would like to present the national first place winning award for Arapahoe County's pavement repair tracking software app to Keith Runyon of the Build a Better Mousetrap Local Innovation Contest. We received these awards at the National LTAP Conference in New Orleans in July, and I was proud to be there to receive the award from Federal Highway Administration, and now I present it to you, Keith, and Arapahoe County. Congratulations. I'd also like to make one last comment. As a reward for winning the national contest, Arapahoe County is able to send, sponsored by Federal Highway, a participant to the upcoming Everyday Counts Innovation Summit in Portland, Oregon. And Federal Highway will cover that expense. Some of the innovations that will be covered at that summit include reducing rural road departures, improving pedestrian crossing safety, UAV drone use, and weather management strategies. So that will be an innovation conference that hopefully they'll be able to send a participant. And just as a note, in this year's state contest, Arapahoe County submitted another project, and secretly they are currently tied for first place. So we'll cross our fingers, and hopefully I'll be giving them the good news soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Renee. Keith, would you like to come forward and just say a few words?
I was going to say, turn that around if you can. We'd love to see it.
Yeah, actually, I just wanted to give a big thank you to Dominic Sisson.
Yes.
Back here. He was the whole backside of the project, and without him, this would not have been possible. So he took the chaos in my head and made it actually work for us. So I just want to say thank you to him. Thank you.
Well, on behalf of the board, yeah,
I want to see the award.
There we go. He's coming undone?
There you go. Very nice. Thank you. Okay. Very nice.
And on behalf of the board and any other commissioners that would like to make a comment, we want to just say thank you to Renee for the recognition and our Road and Bridge group. Thank you for all your hard work. Dominic, thank you very much for all of your support of that department. So this is a big honor. Commissioner Holden.
Thank you very much. I have been very proud of the efforts of our Public Works Department, and just want to comment that we'll be losing our director very soon, and it's obvious that the strength of this organization is in the worker bees out there and the people that really make the commitment to excellent in following Arapahoe County's first, Arapahoe County being the first in this state, and the first in innovation, and the first in quality employees. So thank you all, and I congratulate all of you for your efforts.
Commissioner Conti.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I just also like to chime in that under great leaders, the ranks will flourish. And obviously that is what is happening here. You guys have just done such a masterful job of collaborating together, working together, and the teamwork is very evident. So congratulations for this wonderful award.
So we're going to give you a round of applause. Yeah. As is tradition, we often go out into the front lobby for a photo opportunity. I believe the meeting will not be too long, so if we want to wait until the end of the meeting for that, would that be okay with everyone? Okay, and we'll be able to come out and do some photos with you in about 10 minutes or so. Okay, so thank you very much. We do have one set of minutes to approve. These are the minutes from August 21st, 2018. Commissioner Holland was absent and excused for that.
Motion to approve?
And I will second. So the motion was made by Commissioner Conti, seconded by Commissioner Baker. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Excellent. Thank you. So do we have authority to approve those? Yes, even without a quorum. We have a quorum, but we have an abstention. Okay. So for the consent agenda, there are, I'm sorry, citizen comment period. Sorry, I have a lot of notes here. Are there any citizens that would like to address the Board of County Commissioners on any non-agenda items? If so, there is a 3-minute time limit per person unless otherwise noted. And so, welcome, JM. Good morning. And we'll recognize Martha Lovato.
Good morning, Commissioners. Martha Lovato, BOCC Administration Manager. Reading into the record for JM Fay 2575 South Syracuse Way, Denver, Colorado 80231. Commissioners, it's time the county stepped up to the plate and held candidate forums every even year when the county offices are up. The League of Women Voters is not doing anything. The chamber no longer has a room, and the only forum this year is the one we are working on with our Senator Tate. We did talk to your staff on this and was not fully gotten back to. This is one of the only places in the county that can hold a lot of people. Let's see here, sorry. Okay. Number 2, we were the first to call in on the telephone town hall. No one has gotten back to us with the answer to our question. Our question was, under what state law does the sheriff have the authority to tow cars with a visible placard from a disabled parking space? 18 days prior to this tow, 2 deputies came out due to our nasty neighbor below us, as a second neighbor was trying to game the system and told her, Colorado has no reserved disabled spaces anywhere. The HOA did that as a courtesy to her, but she was not entitled to the space. Considering how she carried on, the deputy was asked to contact the HOA and tell them this too, and he did. 18 days later, the same nasty neighbor convinces under deputy to tow our car. This is under 42-4-1208. A person shall not impose restrictions on the use of disabled parking unless specifically authorized by a statute of Colorado and a resolution of or ordinance of a political subdivision of Colorado. A notice of the restriction is prominently posted by a sign clearly visible at the parking space. Which statute would that be? Don't forget, this is the same HOA who illegally added 2 spaces next to our garage. Nearly 7 years we spent arguing with you to fix this. You had to add the pillars as the HOA did not. Don't forget, the same sheriff's department was using Arapahoe zoning to ticket and tow cars along Yale Avenue. We had to come here on that too. That section of Yale is still Denver. That's also how our car legally parked in Denver was impounded, as the sheriff's department didn't like where we parked, so they stopped. Had no car for 28 days until a neighbor from Holly Hill stepped up and lent us $300 so we didn't lose the car. That was negotiated down by Tom Martino's people. If she hadn't had a car we spent 2.5 years to afford, would have been lost with us going to the doctors every 3 weeks or less, 2 buses and a long walk to get there. The fine for that, which you and the HOA will pay, is $280,000 because you had the nerve to illegally tow our car, to game the system and not see the illegal signs were replaced because not one of you bothered to step up to the plate on this despite knowing we are very sick and you were emailed on this, etc. That is why the 3 of you up for re-election are being picketed as if we need to do that on top of everything else going on in our life. The illegal signs need to come down, and 101 and 102 need to be forced to move. 3, we are still waiting for a settlement for the 22 years of nonsense, which this just added to it. 4, you still have a library situation to fix. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you, JM. Are there any other citizen comments this morning? Please come forward and state your name and address for the record, and keep your eye on the lights in the front.
Becky Roberts, 714 and Bowden Mile Road, Watkins. For 2 years, I've been speaking about the employees spoke first and most left before Watkins residents were called to speak. Conoco employees spoke about the same 3 things over and over. What a great company they worked for, how safe Conoco is, and how they didn't want to lose their job or pension. Some lived in Aurora, but many didn't even live in Arapahoe County. Not one had ever been in Watkins or could find it on the map. Not one Conoco speaker commented on the Swan site specifically. After all the comments were heard, Conoco was permitted to return to the microphone. Commissioners asked questions of Mr. Hill and Mr. Blair. Our attorney was never permitted to answer any questions. One question the commissioners asked Mr. Blair was if there were any other locations where an emergency egress road was locked. Mr. Blair could not answer the question, instead saying he was sure there was, but could not give specifics. The answer is no. Nowhere in Arapahoe County is a drilling site located at the entrance to an entire subdivision that would have to evacuate toward the wells, let alone using a locked gate. Multiple times, commissioners asked Mr. Hill if they could ask for an alternative site analysis. Mr. Hill answered that to his knowledge there was nothing that indicated they couldn't ask for an alternative site analysis and nothing that stated that they could. It has been 18 months since Arapahoe County told Watkins residents in writing that the county would require an alternative site analysis. Mr. Hill should have known this answer. Where was Conoco's engineer who supposedly conducted the geological study that said this was the only site in a 2-mile radius? Why wasn't the engineer at the public hearing to answer the questions? Since there were so many unanswered questions, the responsible decision was to ask for a continuance. Accurate, detailed answers could have been presented at a later public hearing. When Mr. Hill was asked if the county could be sued by ConocoPhillips if they asked for an alternative site analysis, at first he stated he wasn't sure, but later on he said yes. Shortly after that answer, commissioners voted unanimously to approve the Swan location, without the answers they were seeking. Here are my questions. What will you do when Conoco applies for 3 more wells? Will you ask for an alternative site analysis then? And when Conoco applies for 4 more wells after that? It will be too late. You admitted that Arapahoe County has outdated, ineffective MOUs. After 2 years, it is too late for Watkins residents.
Thank you very much. Are there any other any other citizen comments this morning? If not, then I will close the public comment period. And we've already approved the minutes from August 21st, so we're up to the consent agenda. Are there any questions or commissioner discussion about the consent agenda?
Mr. Chair, I'll motion to approve the consent agenda as presented to us.
Motion made by Commissioner Conti.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Holland. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That motion carries with Commissioners Sharp and Jackson absent and excused. There are no general Business items? Any public hearings? Are there any commissioner comments? Seeing none, we are adjourned.